right, welcome to the R&R Network. I'm Roger. Lisa's at work. I work too today. Yeah, she's not here. Anyways, we're gonna be doing part of the eating and talking series. I've got the food ready to go. I just gotta bring it over and we'll get started. The eating and talking, coming up in a bit. Oops. Okay. Kind of mess things up. Let's take a look at the menu. First, we'll go over the drink. The drink is gonna be the sparkling water. I've talked about this before. This is mandarin orange, which I think basically means an orange flavor. Yeah, I don't know what mandarin orange is anyway, so I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's orange. Like orange soda. It's good. So again, sparkling cider, sparkling water from Walmart's what is it? Great Value or Clear American or brand. Their brand is not too bad, so check them out. Okay, the food. And I'm really hungry, so there might not be a lot of talking. Again, the oatmeal and protein powder my kind of go-to recently. So let's get that kind of mixed up. And man, I'm really hungry. So it's kind of a long day at work today. Well, it's full shift, right? 8 hours. But the day went by pretty quickly as usual because my department is really super busy and I like it that way. The busier the better. But yeah, basically an uneventful day today. So I guess what we'll talk about is interview I had. Ooh, I should show that a little bit. An interview I had with an FBI agent for someone's background check, and that person gave my number so the FBI could contact me and ask about that person and some stuff. And the questions were let me eat. So let me backtrack a little bit. But it was a real FBI agent. She was a retired, and she came back to do a technical. I think she was called a technical agent or something like that, where just retired and doing this kind of background check for the FBI and stuff. So, and she was an ex-FBI, and she worked the border area right around, our area. So she said she was part of a lot of action down there. And maybe not a lot of action, but a couple of big cases. And it was so cool to hear her talk, just even a little bit about the FBI and some of the stuff and how, like, yeah, I guess we'll talk about this because I want to, right? How one of the things I see in the movie is where the federal kind of fight or different departments fight over a case, who's going to take it and who's going to prosecute whatever, or who's the lead and stuff. No, I just thought that's just a movie thing. That's not even real. They just made it up. And she was talking about that, and I was like, "Real? That's not fake. Like that's not just a Hollywood. That's a real thing." She goes, "Yeah, it's a real thing. And some of the big cases, they kind of fight over who's going to prosecute and this and that." I was like, "Whoa, mind blown." So I was so fanboying, I just had to ask more and I wanted to know everything. And she said there was some cases where they couldn't extradite them or something. And yeah, it just sounded so cool. I wanted to get more into it. But anyways, the interview was pretty hard. So it's kind of a security background check. So they ask a lot of questions. Are you aware? It was always, are you aware of some kind of bad activity, bad activity, bad activity? And some of these are really bad, like, and I was listening carefully. I was like, no, because I can't imagine my friend, or sorry, I shouldn't say a friend, but someone who I know, do something like that. And these are like serious, security questions they're asking you. So it'll be about espionage or finding a package or asking someone to deliver a package and just all kind. For me, it was like crazy. What is this? I mean, and in the end, it started going into like alcohol. Are you aware of it? That I had a problem with alcohol, and I just started laughing. I was like, "Are you serious? This is like a joke, right?" I just find it so funny. That's what I said. I find it so funny, these questions. And she goes, "Yeah, I know, but my background." And then she explained, "Yeah, our background is from, police, security, so we have to ask these questions." And I understood that, but, and she understood my point of view. I get it. She said, "It's not your world," and basically that's what she said. Well, it's not my world, but the way she said it was nice. So, and then she explained that, and we continued on, but just it's funny, the mindset is different on this situation, with the questions and stuff. So mine is just like, I can't believe this stuff is really happening. And she talked about some bad guy, like serious people she put away or helped put away. I'm not sure what exactly she did, but FBI, that's cool. So I forgot what I was talking about, but that's okay. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. But some of the questions were just like really serious, and that's her side, that's her viewpoint, that's where she's coming from, that's her job, that's what she's there to do. I'm just there to answer, I'm just some Joe Schmo answering questions, like fanboying all over her, like, oh, that's so cool, and that's all I am. So I kind of, it was just an interesting dynamic, that one. One kind of fanboy, not so serious and like can't understand that world, and the other one completely from that world, knows about that world and is, serious. So yeah, it was just kind of an interesting dynamic and conversation, I guess. One more small thing though, before I finish this, I just remembered, was when we started that video, it was a video call. It was a video call. And when she first started, um she couldn't find the file that she was the person she was interviewing. I know who it was. Wink wink if you're watching. Um and she was just looking all over the place, and I was like, "This is an FBI agent? What? Are you sure? That can't be right." Uh so that was the first, intro. And then she was kind of really talkative about her background and stuff, and I was like, yeah, kind of typical American. It kind of lined up with my thinking, typical American. But I hate to say typical American. I'm a typical American. We're all typical Americans, but my idea of an American, a little bit kind of haphazard, all over sometimes, and then kind of talkative. But then once the interview started, we got into serious mode really fast. I was like, whoa, what happened? That was interesting how fast that switch turned once she was into that kind of like, I don't know, interrogator or investigative or kind of serious. Yeah, there was a serious switch there. But I'm glad, like at the end, when I kind of joked around, she kind of understood, this is why I'm kind of, yeah. But yeah, that was just an interesting dynamic and conversation with a real FBI agent. So I wasn't gonna talk about that, but it came up, so I went with it. Anyways, that's it. I'm out.